Hi guys, welcome to another product review. Today we're doing something a little different. In the past we've done rule books and supplementals from Warlord for Bolt Action. We've also done I think product reviews of Footsore Miniatures Civilians, which you'll remember hopefully from previous reviews. I think we may have done some product reviews for certain miniature sets from Warlord. We will be getting on to Griffin Beasts, Saxon Thanes at some point, as well as their middle-aged warriors. And we'll also look at Perry's Desert Rats very soon. And I'd also like to touch on War Bases and their hay cart and various other products that I'll be getting from them. But today I wanted to review not just a product, but more of a company. And so today we're going to be reviewing Volley Painting Services. Now you may have heard of them. They sponsor the, I think it's the Buy, Sell and Swap-in Historical Miniatures group on Facebook. And they've done some fantastic painting. I say they, but actually, in fact, the company is just one man, Andy Singleton, based out of Rochester in Kent, in England. An absolute great guy. I started speaking to Andy probably somewhere to a year and a half ago. At first, it was just asking him questions about painting, sort of, what sort of colours would I use for this figure, that figure, and it's grown into a friendship, and now we regularly talk, and we're doing some projects together, including Operation Sand Dune, which I'll be putting some videos up for very shortly. But I asked him about a year ago, maybe less than that, maybe. It was probably about 8 months ago, and he was really busy, and he was just doing this kind of as a favour for me. And I asked him to build me some figures. Now I had these spare heads from the BEF, the Warlord BEF set, and mostly they were side caps and an officer's head. And I really was thinking, what can I do with these? I've got these spare bits. I don't just want them sat in a drawer. What could I have done with them? And I was thinking, and eventually I came up with the idea of coming up with having a small unit of RAF figures. You don't really see them. Nobody really makes them except for just using regular British figures, painting them up in RAF colours. So I said to Andy, hey, do you think you could do this? And he said, yeah, I've got a spare sprue of, 5 plastic British figures from Warlord. I'll do some head swaps, I'll paint them up. Be great. So I said, that's fantastic. I sent him the heads. And while I was over in England at Christmas, he sent me the 5 figures that he'd done for me, which was absolutely great. And so I thought, just as a big thank you and also a shout out to all those people who perhaps are interested in getting figures painted, but not sure where to go, check out Volley Painting Services. They have a Facebook page, they have a blog post, which I will put all the links in the comments box below. And please go check those out because it's great. And even if you don't want to get some figures painted, have a look at his albums because they're so inspirational to see what he's done with a lot of figures for a lot of different clients that it almost makes you want to pick up your paintbrush yourself and get going with it. I know it does for me. And so, like his page because, the more likes, the more he gets the word out there, and it helps him grow his business. Which I know he says he has a lot on anyway, but I'm sure he can squeeze 1 or 2 more in. But anyway, so we're going to have a look at these figures. We're kind of going to review them. I do want to talk very quickly before we go on to having a look at the figures about my RAF idea. I originally thought of them as kind of like an objective for a BEF force and French force trying to kind of get forward to a stranded RAF post. So they're kind of for that, but they're also, I'm actually thinking of getting a sprue myself and using some more kind of discarded heads that I may have lying around to do some more, to build up that section so that they can become part of my home defense force. So I've got my dad's army section, who are all in uniforms. I also have my dad's army section of sort of dressed as civilians. So that's essentially 2 sections that I can put out as home guards. And then I thought it'd be great to have this RAF section to go with it. Probably have one of the Tilly flying, the standard. I don't know. It's like a kind of a Jeep truck thing, but it's called the Tilly. Warlord do one, so I'm thinking of getting that to go in with that force. I thought it'd be good, and then have some Fallschirmjäger attack in, or some German infantry as like an invasion. So yeah, that's kind of my plan at the moment. We'll see where I go from there. But I have a start, and I'm very grateful to Andy. So let's take a look at his figures, and we'll see what he's done, and comment on that. So back in a second. Okay guys, so here we have the RAF figures. I'm sorry about the quality of the camera. I had to kind of zoom in to get close enough to them. We will, I may try and play around with it and maybe get you some better shots at the end. If that doesn't work, we'll just go with this, and maybe I'll do a close-up at the end. But as you can see, some fantastic looking figures. They really do look the part. The RAF uniforms look absolutely brilliant. The highlighting that goes into them, and the facial, sort of the painting on the faces is brilliant. And it really is very impressive what Andy's been able to do with these. Also the basing, I didn't ask for anything specific, but he's done a fantastic job of basing them so they really would fit in with any sort of theatre that I'm playing. So I think these guys would also be just as good in the Far East or the desert as they would fighting in France or back in England. So really pleased with the outcome of these. I think what we'll do is we will see if I can zoom out, and then we'll do some close-ups back in the chair so that you can get a better view of them, because I feel like it's not a bad view, but it comes in and out of focus. So let's head back to the chair, and then we can do some close-ups, and we can wrap this all up. So we'll see you in a minute. Hi guys, and we're back. So very sorry about that. Quality of the camera I was not impressed with it in the slightest. So we'll just crack on like this, shall we? I must say as well, Andy not only built the figures and painted them, but he also, before he painted them, actually altered them. He actually converted them. One of the other impressive things that I really liked about it was Andy managed to get a cup into each of the figures. There's one there, actually the others might not have one, but oh yeah, there's another one here that's got a cup. And I quite like this idea of them having cups, so they were always ready for making their cup of tea. The officer as well, this is quite impressive. I don't know if you can tell, but what Andy did was extend the tunic by adding some green stuff to make it look like a 4-pocket tunic rather than the 2-pocket battle dress. So he actually went into a lot of detail to make these guys look as they should. As I said, fantastic work on the flesh. The uniforms, they have the highlights that make them not look, that it really makes them pop. And really makes it stand out really well. It is phenomenal to see his work up close and actually to own some. So let's go through these. Let's go through these one by one. So here's the first guy. He's just got a rifle. See if he can focus. But as you can see with the side cap there, looking really quite RAF-like, and I just thought it was good. I mean, not many people have RAF forces. Here's the second guy with his glasses and side cap, and he's just running along there with his rifle in trail. And then we've got this guy ready to get off a couple of rounds. but the painting really is phenomenal, and you know, the detail is phenomenal as well. Really cannot stress how much I like these. And there's the officer. He even put it on the pistol holster there, and just another one from the back there. Let's try to get my fingers out of the way. Okay, and finally a guy that is actually taking a shot. I suppose one of the RAF guys had to, but you know, and they've got pouches on. They've got all the extra bits they should have on there, and it's all painted up very nicely. So you know, I really can't fault them. I think they're absolutely brilliant works of art. I know Rob Rhodes from Ohio. He has had lots of work done by Andy, particularly AWI stuff. So I know he's had a lot of work done from Andy. On top of that, Andy's been involved with some charity work and done many painted up some figures and auctioned them off. Essentially, you know, he's all the cost of him painting that figure. He has basically provided himself, and I know they've fetched quite a lot of money for some really good charitable causes. So I think, you know, if nothing else from this review, please go to Andy's page on Facebook, and I'll put a link up in the description box, and just give him a like on his page. Have a look at his pictures, see what he does. Even speak to the guy, you know, drop him a message, because he's fantastic, and he always seems to have time for everyone. I don't know how he has time for everyone and still paints as much as he does, but he is a magician. And you know, he's always coming up with great ideas to, you know, certainly to help me, you know, with ideas of what I could convert, and he's been almost a mentor as well, in the sense that, you know, as I've been getting better and better at my painting, you know, there's been a lot of encouragement and you know, genuine sort of appreciation for the work that I'm doing. So I can't commend Andy to you enough, and Volley Painting Services. And if you are interested in painting, get in touch with him. Or sorry, if you're interested in getting some figures painted, get in touch with him, and I'm sure he'd be happy to quote your price, and see what he can do, fit you into his schedule. So that's it from me today. Volley Painting Services, go check him out. And also check out the articles he writes on his blog posts, and also in there's the Warlord newsletter that he often has an article in. He also has articles in War Games, Soldiers and Strategy, which again is a fantastic magazine. I might even do a review on them soon, as I have quite a few of their paper issues, but I also get it digitally as well every 2 months, because they come out every 2 months. So hey, maybe we'll check those out next time. Until then, if you've liked this video, please like, comment. If you like this video and any of the others and want to subscribe, please do. We're up to 110. I checked this morning. Really pleased with that. It was a slow start. I've broken the 100 mark, and hopefully it's just going to keep going from that. And some great comments. I really appreciate your comments, guys. It really just makes me feel a lot more you know, inspired to keep going and to do more. And I don't profit from this. I'm not interested in profit. It is simply about talking about a hobby that I really, really enjoy, and you know, and talking about my experiences, what I think of various products, what I think of game systems. Not that I'm an expert, but just this is one opinion out of a lot of other opinions. And you know, from doing this and speaking to people on Facebook, you know, I've made connections with lots of different people who I can now call my friends, and you know, and that's great. And you know, hopefully one day I'm going to be able to, for example, get up to Ohio to see Rob Rhodes, you know, play some games with him, maybe enter some tournaments. You know, I'm very much looking forward to getting back to England again, meet up with Andy, play some games, maybe do Salute together, who knows. But yeah, very much looking forward to it. And as I would encourage all of you guys who watch the video, if you haven't already, just get out there and speak to people, because the wargaming community can be a very friendly group, and always encouraging and welcoming. So that's it from me. I'm going to stop rambling, and we'll see you very soon in either another battle report, an update, product review, something. It's going to be good though. All right then, we'll see you soon. Take care.